Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have an OLED screen. The kickstand has once again become a bit bulkier compared to the improved stand on the Nintendo Switch OLED. There is no achievement system built into the console. The achievements will only exist in some specific versions of NS2 games through the mobile app. Games will cost at least $80, at least because GTA 6 might raise the pricing bar even higher, and Nintendo will definitely follow. And that's not even counting all the ports selling for $60. Games that originally cost several times less a decade ago, like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. And mind you, those ports even dare to have bugs, unlike the more polished cross-gen ports we see on PS5 for example. Starting price for the console? $450 in the best case scenario in the world. The sticks on Joy-Cons are now a bit bigger, and people are worried that drift might have increased too. The Joy-Cons supposedly won't break as easily anymore because they have been magnetic. Wow, what a miracle after almost 10 years. But now some gamers and bloggers fear that connectors for these new magnetic Joy-Cons might break instead. According to Digital Foundry, the performance on Nintendo Switch 2 is roughly on par with PlayStation 4, and that's in docked mode, not portable. Meanwhile, many were expecting 10 times the performance improved over the original Switch when playing on the go, because that's what Nvidia, the chip developer, hinted at. There is an extra button on the console that most gamers probably won't even use because it requires you to buy an overpriced, mediocre quality webcam, and even then you'll need a paid subscription to stream through it. And here is the cherry on top. The interactive tutorial or showcase game for the console costs money. Let's remember that Astro's Playroom on PS5 and Aperture Desk Job on Steam Deck were absolutely free. Ladies and gentlemen, what I just listed, these are pure dry facts. For me, that's more than enough reason not to upgrade from a Nintendo Switch OLED to NS2 if you already own one. But alright, let's try to think. Who actually might need the Switch 2? Maybe someone who has never owned a Nintendo console before? Or someone who only has a Nintendo Switch Lite or the regular Switch with an IPS screen? Primarily, of course, to subscribe here and here, plus smash the like on this channel. Well, at least YouTube works on Nintendo, praise science. Seriously though, the real draw is new games and the ability to play current game multi-platform games portably. NS2 officially confirmed Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars Outlaws. Well, okay, the last one is debatable. Rumors also suggest Assassin's Creed Shadows will appear. Sounds nice, right? Hold up a second, let's remember. Switch 2's power in handheld mode is roughly comparable to Steam Deck. Meanwhile, the Steam Deck lasts longer on battery, has more RAM, more storage in the base model, a brighter OLED screen, and you can find it cheaper. Also, let's not forget that other handhelds are consistently ahead of Nintendo when it comes to officially verified multi-platform titles. Unless some miracle happens, they'll stay ahead, simply because they entered this field earlier and are actively targeting it. Whereas Nintendo has always been primarily exclusive launcher, you might say, but NS2 has DLSS support, high resolution, ray tracing, 120Hz refresh rate, and VRR. Fair point. But wait, those features are bare minimum for today's quasi-next gen. And we're not comparing NS2 to Steam Deck 2, we're comparing it to the first Steam Deck. The first deck already supports 90Hz, HDR and more. What will happen when Steam Deck 2 comes out, with Valve reportedly targeting a truly next-gen experience? Okay, let's play on Nintendo's home field for a moment. What exclusives are coming to NS2? The game will attract the most gamers, not just Nintendo fans, is obviously From Software the Duskbloods, a new Souls-like. But there is a catch, it's releasing at least a year after launch. By that time, Steam Deck 2 could already be out, new games will flood the market and competition will be totally different. What will actually launch soon and reliably? Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. If you think these games are just for kids and you hate the style, honestly, why are you even watching videos like this? You already know everything you need to know. But if you're excited for them or curious to try, let's dive deeper. Can these games become true system sellers like Zelda Breath of the Wild was for the original Switch? For hardcore Nintendo fans? Sure, no doubt. But what do they bring to gaming as a whole in terms of game design innovation? The fact that Donkey Kong is getting a new 3D title for the first time in years? cute, but hardly groundbreaking. It's got destructible environments? Okay, that's a little cooler, but calling it revolutionary as some biased gaming media do feels laughable. Journalists who played the demos said it feels like a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. Basically, more of the game's great stuff fans already love, and whatever innovation it does have, they're introduced very cautiously, just like in Tears of the Kingdom compared to Breath of the Wild, if not even more cautiously. As for Mario Kart World, it sounds more exciting at first glance, but look closer, it's the same formula, just a lot more massive. Technical reviews described it as a polished, iconic Nintendo gaming experience. But again, is it innovative enough to capture a broader audience, spark Zelda 2017 tier hype? No, it's more awesome content for fans. Again. And no, being able to rewind time like in Forza Horizon is not revolutionary. It only works for you own racer in single player, not full-time control. Honestly, it feels like a cheap copy of Forza ideas to me. Will fans buy it? Absolutely, and if they love it, good for them. But from a newcomer's perspective, I see more reasons not to buy the console at launch than reasons to get it. Because Nintendo simply isn't targeting new audience, they're doubling down on milking their loyal fan base harder and harder. It's moved past exponential growth. Every time you wonder how much further can it go, it keeps going infinitely. Now about using the Joy-Cons like a mouse. Many experts who tried this feature said that the response isn't even close to that of a real mouse. Honestly, you didn't even need to test it. It's obvious. Compare that to DualSense features, which players immediately loved. Things like trigger resistance, surface textures, capability to be implemented into weapon jamming mechanics, and it was integrated into most games. Will Nintendo's mouse mode Joy-Con be the same success? Something tells me absolutely not. And let's circle back to what I said at the beginning. Nintendo Switch 2 obviously launches without OLED because they plan to release an OLED version later and milk even more cash. And please don't hit me with that "oh, OLED burn-in." I've had an LG OLED TV running at full brightness for nearly 7 years, 5 years warranty passed, it was running with even static TV logos showing sometimes, still no burn-in. Finally, if this video wasn't enough for you, don't worry, I'm thinking about making a full review of this console without even buying it. Really curious what you think, how the audience feels about NS2 now. But before you go write comments, here is a final fun fact. In Japan, there will be a special Japan-only version of Nintendo Switch 2 locked to a Japanese region settings, and it'll cost only 330 bucks. Good luck living with that. This channel survives only thanks to your activity, so click the videos on the right and left and smash that subscribe button in the middle. Thanks for watching, see you next time.